Red Dark. We're going to be talking about South of Midnight. I've been excited to play this game. I'm going to start it tomorrow, so hopefully there's nothing too terrible. Now, I am wearing my shirt to kind of match our hair. I don't have a really orange shirt, but look at us. Look at us. Aren't we a cute couple? Heck yeah.
Nearly every single project that Sweet Baby Ink touches turns to trash, even the most successful
Oh
ones like
no.
God
Are they are they involved in South of Midnight? No.
of War Ragnarok face major controversy because they're changing around character backstory or they're race swapping certain characters. You either have developers coming out making controversial statements or them silencing people on official forums, and that's exactly what's happening right now with Compulsion Games because
Oh
they are
no.
not able to take criticism. They are blocking people over on X, they're locking down threads on their official
Oh my god. Oh my god. Please don't ruin this. We are so close.
Steam forums, and well, their early access numbers are not looking super positive so far. But before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the
Okay, that's early access. Who cares? I'm here for the launch of the game.
description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this is a game I actually had a little bit of hype for because it's not like they're taking established characters and an established franchise and pushing a new modern message into it. I thought the stop motion actually looked relatively interesting.
Yeah, it was at least something new, something interesting. That's part of what got me. Plus, I'm going to enjoy the Cajun accent. Gambit is my favorite X-Men, mon cher. Oh, I'm about to make a name for myself up in here.
And I thought to myself, maybe this will be a pretty decent game. Yeah, I kind of expect it to be a little bit heavy-handed on a narrative, but if the gameplay could make up for that, if it's fun, if it's gorgeous, it plays well, maybe I could give it a little bit of credit, right? I like when developers create things that are new and unique, even if I'm not 100% behind.
Even if they're not amazing, and they're just like, okay, at least it's something new, like Schedule 1 was kind of new. Apparently there's a lawsuit that suggested it might not be. But still, it was fun.
But it is a Sweet Baby Ink game, and I think we needed to definitely take everything surrounding this game with a hefty grain of salt and not just instantly give them credit. And Compulsion Games hasn't really responded in the best way possible because they have received some backlash, they're silencing people, and it just looks like they're taking everything personally, and that's such a big problem nowadays. If you are creating a product, you need to not silence your customers, but you also need to not take everything so personally. Imagine if I got offended every time someone on X told me I was ugly or I was stupid, or maybe I just got popular because of my hair and my face and my gender.
We know who she's talking about. That one guy who was attacking her. Was it earlier this year or last year? Like late last year? I don't remember his name, but he looks like he'd be jealous of her.
I would be throwing a hissy fit every single day. That would be ridiculous. But Compulsion Games cannot take criticism because they, as you can see in the screenshot, have blocked me. I don't know exactly when this happened. It must have been like a week or two ago, but I've only put up 2 videos on this game. One of them was just talking about how they were silencing people's criticism on the Steam forums, which, again, I don't think that that is block worthy. And then the other one was the first time we found out that Sweet Baby Ink was affiliated with this game. So in no way, shape, or form did I harass developers. Did I send hatred their way? Did I, say boycott this game? I never did any of that. Nothing that is block worthy. But they blocked me nonetheless. And, well, I'm still going to call them out for what I...
Probably a preemptive block, just in case. Although, she doesn't cause a lot of controversy or problems online. Like, she doesn't go to people's pages and start, like, messaging them or leaving negative comments or reviews for like no reason at all. So I don't know why you'd bother blocking her.
I see is total, complete, and utter BS, and so far things are not going so well for them. So let's take a look over on their Steam forums because release is technically here.
I hope one day I'm big enough that people preemptively block me. Follow 92. I was like 90 last night. Where did I get the other two? What the world's happening? Let's see. Pinned game crash troubleshooting. Okay, it's early access. That can happen. Early access doesn't say anything. Welcome to South of Midnight discussion. How to change backspace keys. Why do you change the backspace keys? Synthetic Man streamed that. I don't know who that is. Why are mods locking and deleting? Oh, I see. This was the problem. Okay, keybinds keep resetting after closing the game. Yikes. Boring. Oh. I was confusing me. Okay, boring, a little concerned. only got one comment, but these don't have a lot of comments. Chapter 6 glitch. I hope that glitch is okay. Any fix for 32:9 cutscenes?
It is in early access until the 8th, and I will be streaming it. It's going up on Game Pass, and I do try to stream most of the
Oh,
games that I
Daddy's
talk
streaming
about on
this
channel.
tomorrow.
I'm
You
not
can bet.
monetarily supporting them, though it would be interesting one of these times for one of these developers to send out codes to individuals they deem controversial, because
Yeah, if I made a game, I would send out codes to real reviewers, you know, YouTubers and stuff like that. No journalists.
it is still technically free press, though it doesn't bother me, because if I have 100 people watching and 99 of you decide to not buy the game and just watch my live stream, that's 99 copies that are potentially not sold. Or if a game ends up being really good, then it's 99 copies sold. I mean, sometimes it does work that way, but I don't think it's fair that I talk about a game, then not try it, because I can be wrong. I'm a human.
If I made a game, I'd send her a copy. For sure. I think she's very fair.
And this
I've seen her play games. I still need to watch her play Assassin's Creed. But I watched her play Avowed and some other games over the years. I like her views. She's fair. She's actually a little more favorable than I would have been for some of these games.
I had, again, like a tiny bit of hype for, because I thought it seemed like a unique concept, though. As time goes on and we're getting closer to release, any hype I really am having is dying, but you can see they are actively moderating the threads. I mean, 1 hour ago and it's already locked. This game took me 8 hours to finish, and it's $40. No replayability either.
It was only $40? That's not too bad. I mean, I'm still going to do Game Pass because that way I can play Avowed, see what pile of garbage that is. Plus some other games. Well, that's good. I thought they were going to make it like full price, but $40? That's pretty fair for the content, and like I assume that there's collectibles and stuff. So I did look it up, and it said how long to beat was 11 and a half hours. So I could probably knock that out this week and start Avowed next week. And oh, I'm so excited now. But I hope the game is good. I really hope the game is good.
Why are they silencing
And I hope you
people
guys
who are
enjoy
just
it,
bringing
too.
up the fact that it was a $40 experience they've already finished? You would think that that would be an okay conversation to people have. There was no hatred being levied towards the developers. They weren't saying to boycott the game. They were just saying, yeah, it's really short for the price. Who is this targeted base game for? I'm not complaining about having a target base. Everything doesn't, of course. Getting everyone buying a product is always best for whoever created it, because it's more sales, but the trailer and some videos I have seen recently on this game have me confused. I like the stop motion, which is how you can peg pretty easily that they cut corners with it. When they did it here, since it seems like it skips a lot that should have been in there, or like a smoother experience. It's really strange to me that video games are being shown off and promoted like they are E for everyone in trailers, but they actually are not. If the game is targeting an adult base based on its rating and trailer, it should be shown off more as adult, which I always say this. If you have an adult audience you're trying to market your game toward, actually show us the adult content. Sure, what they do in the main trailer that they're marketing is kind of lower the content because they want it to be able to be put onto YouTube, and they want it to be able to be put onto Twitch, and to be able to be put in front of younger audiences. But even if it's not a game for younger audience,
Okay. Thing is, South of Midnight doesn't feel like one of those games where you need to put a lot of like cursing or death into it. It doesn't. Like Assassin's Creed. Yeah. Blood. Chopping off body parts. There could be curse words. I mean, it's an assassin game where you play as an assassin and killing people. That's appropriate. South of Midnight doesn't. It feels like it's supposed to be about the story, and it doesn't need like excessive violence or foul language. So it's okay if it doesn't have it. That's not what I'm looking for in that type of game.
says all you're really doing is hurting yourself at that point. I mean, there's people saying this made me unsubscribe from Game Pass. Sorry, but it really lives up to its name, South of Midnight.
Game Pass made me unsubscribe from Game Pass last year. I bought the 3 years in advance when I got my Xbox Series X, and don't get me wrong, totally worth it. I had so much fun in just the first year of the Game Pass. Absolutely worth it. Thank you, Althea. I'll have to get me a bottle of water. I am eating some salty chips. Where is my water? The water is gone. I have to go get some water. Hold on. I don't know why my emergency waters aren't on the counter, because I haven't drank any of them. They should still be there. have returned. I absolutely did not drink those. Those were sitting on the counter for a specific reason, and when I get up to get a water, it's out of the package. Agua.
Instantly shut down. So we're not just talking about people coming out of the woodworks, flooding them with hatred or harassment. We're talking about people just saying it's a really
Bored.
mid
People who are
experience for the
bored.
price, and there aren't a lot of people playing it so far. It
Oh.
is in early access, so you would have to pay a little bit more
Okay.
to be able to play
Okay.
it, and maybe in a few days at launch we will see these numbers skyrocket, though it is going on to Game Pass day one. Developers do still need to sell independent copies, though, aside from Game Pass. That is how they are successful, and Game Pass games can still sell relatively well. Aside from that, look at Starfield. I know it's a wildly different situation, but that sold, millions of copies at release.
That's because it was the next big release from Bethesda, and people really wanted it to be Skyrim in space. And technically, it was Skyrim in space, just without the quality of Skyrim.
And, well, it was on Game Pass day one. As you can see, though, the all-time
And that's the only reason I played it. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy Bethesda games, but they're not worth full price for a game, for a Bethesda game anymore. Haven't been for a long time. But for it being on Game Pass day one, and like I said, I got the 3 years in advance. Worth it. It was worth it for what I had already paid for the Game Pass for not even knowing it was going to be there.
peak was 2 days ago at 496 players in game right now. Saturday afternoon is 389. I would say, judging by these early access numbers, the full release will
Okay. It's Tuesday now. That was a couple days ago. If I knew how to look this up, I would look up how many people are playing right now.
probably get around 5,000, maybe even 10,000. That's just me being like very generous with numbers, but that is not some like sweeping success, at least in my opinion. And from what we understand, video games need to make back a lot of other people's, and this isn't even like a full price $70 video game. If you buy the premium edition right now, where you can get the early access, it's $49.99, but the pre-purchase price is just $39.99, and it does
That's not bad. I appreciate anyone who prices their game at 40. They say, hey, we're not worth full price. Discount that sucker. Respect there, at least.
unlock in 2 days. So those are not even really that bad of prices in my opinion. Here's an article talking about it though. Sweet Baby Inc. Infected South of Midnight hits Steam early access, but the player counts are abysmal. According to Compulsion Games, South of Midnight is an
Well, that's
action-adventure
early
game.
access for an IP no one's ever heard of before. This is new. If it was established already, yeah, you'd have more people in early access, but no one's going to dish out the extra money, unless it's for content, to actually do this game early, because who cares? No one's anticipating this game.
Game that allows players to explore the mythos and confront mysterious creatures of the Deep South in a modern folktale, while learning to weave an ancient power to surmount obstacles and unravel your family's hidden past. See, that doesn't sound like a bad description of a game, but we know Sweet Baby's affiliated with it. We know that it touches upon themes of like racism and, from what I understand, sexism as well, because the lead character is a female. She's a black female, so she faces all of these issues, and I just don't trust them to do that in a way that actually leaves you with a message besides, oh, you should feel bad for her, she's a victim. The game puts players in control of Hazel, who is called to become a weaver, a magical mender of broken bonds and spirits. Imbued with these new abilities, she will confront and subdue dangerous creatures, untangle the webs of her own family's shared past, and if she's lucky, find her way to a place that feels like home. But yeah, these numbers are not so good. The game has 19,591 followers. It is number 108 in wish lists and number 126 in top sellers, and the all-time
Wishlist doesn't mean anything. I wishlisted this game to remind me when it was coming out. It's still on my wish list, but I was always planning to play it on Game Pass.
peak over on Twitch was 30,890, which I didn't see it when it was at this number. I would assume it's because they have sponsored streamers who were playing through the game, though apparently it's really short. It says the poor player counts are not at all surprising for a game that has Sweet Baby attached to it. Other recent releases that SBI worked on turned into commercial failures, like Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn, only hit 648 peak concurrent.
We will be playing Flintlock as part of our Game Pass bonanza.
players after it was released in June 2024. Similarly, Unknown Nine Awakening only hit a peak concurrent player count of just 285 after it released in October 2024. All such abysmal games. I streamed all of them. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn was god-awful. It had such repetitive gameplay and boss fights, and the environments.
I didn't watch her play that. Now I kind of wish I did. Like, it looked like an easy platinum, though. But I don't want to spend real money on it for PlayStation. And I'm less inclined to 100% a game on Steam. I don't know why.
Were not good. Unknown Nine Awakening is one of the worst games I have ever played. You enter into an area, you fight 4 or 5 mobs, then you climb over a barrier, or you go through a gate or a door. You walk into another square where it's 4 or 5 mobs. Then you go over the barrier or through the gate, or
boring.
you break down a door. I mean, it's the same thing over and over. There was a section of the game where there was like this open hub area, and they copy and pasted the same NPCs like over and over and over and didn't even redesign them.
Really?
It was just low.
That lazy? You couldn't even, like, color swap their outfits or something?
Effort swap, and it's crazy to think that Bandai Namco went out of their way to buy Reflector Studios, thinking that Unknown Nine Awakening was going to start like a massive new franchise for them, the same way
that's
that
been
Sony
happening
went
a
out
lot
of their
lately
way
with
to
companies.
buy, Concord's developers. So we're just talking about failure after failure, but really bad games. And then it gets into things like Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League, which were super abysmal. And not only does South of Midnight have Sweet Baby Inc. going for it, but the company itself made headlines when its community manager declared she hates gamers after previously stating that white male gamers were a mistake. So we're just talking about developers who do.
What do you mean they were a mistake? Huh? How does it make sense? How were they a mistake? Was it a mistake selling to them? Was it a mistake letting them into gaming? Because I feel like they were the first ones in. And if anything, they probably should have kept you out.
Do not care about their potential customers. They really just care about being able to play the victim. And in this case, gamers are the villains and they are the victims. And well,
no, just the white male ones. Everyone knows that.
I don't think that South of Midnight is going to be the smashing success that Xbox Game Studios or Compulsion Games hope it's going to be. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Who knows? Though right now it is not looking good for them.
It's alright. I got your back, boo.
To discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this,
that was Vera Dark, Dark Titan Media. If you like her, give her a like and a sub. She's got pretty base takes. I do recommend you watch her streams if you like a nice chill. I'm going to guess e-girl. She looks, I guess it's the hair though. She's fantastic. I enjoy her content a lot. And I almost always agree with her, which is a big plus. It's a big plus for me. There's hardly anybody out there I almost always agree with. I'm still excited to play this game. I don't care. Hopefully it's not a big mess. Nobody in the forums said anything about it being woke. So it could still be good. It might just be short and boring, which is fine, because if it's short, I didn't pay for it. And I can knock it out faster and get onto other games. And maybe I only need to get 1 month of Game Pass if these games are fairly short. Fingers crossed. All right, thanks for joining, YouTube. Let me know down in the comments if you're going to play this game or not. If you've already played it in early access, let me know how it is so I know what I'm expecting to get myself into. Peace out. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and stop being a white gamer boy oppressing women. What is wrong with you? Bye. Have a good one.